morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you already get over with our info session, namely Info that start last October. This time is another full of knowledge event, so let us prepare our mind and our heart to learn from it. I am Christine Carzon from Department of Innovation, core lead of Community Engagement Lead, and I am reminding everyone to please be mindful of our etiquette and always check and mute your microphone as the event goes. We're also getting your consent to record our event for the whole time. Now, to officially launch our event, let us all welcome and screen Google Developer Student Club CFP Manila Ever Dynamic GDSC Lead and President, Miss Justine Nicole Borbe. Let us all give her a virtual round of applause.
All right, guys, good morning to every one of you. And this event wouldn't be possible to all of the great efforts of our current executives, core leads, and core members of GDSC TUP Manila. Despite of the challenges that we've been throughout the preparation, they conveyed great leadership, determination, and exerted the best of their commitments to devise a suitable foundation for the fruitful learning of our audiences right now. All right. And of course, a pleasant welcome to all of our resource speakers who are with us on this very first day, to our general members, TUP Manila students, and also those participants who are outside of the organization and institution. We are more than glad to welcome you in our flagship program for this year. GTEC Summit 2021, Getting Grounded with Google Technologies, is at its first year to be presented at GDSC PUP Manila. It is a two-day tech event that features tech talks and workshops about Flutter, TensorFlow, machine learning, Android, and Firebase. We ensure you that all of our topics provided within this two-day event are suitable for beginner and immediate learners of each field. Participants are expected to be aware and be familiar with the current trends in Google technologies. With this objective, this major event is created to provide an opportunity to everyone, not just students, to participate in the larger discourse through research, data science, and software engineering. Well, guess what, Junior Googlers? We're fortunate to have 9 renowned local and international speakers in the technology field. Some of them are current CEOs and founders of their company, and others are global Google developer experts whose competence and experience are truly remarkable. Their competencies, training, and exposure to the field are rich sources of knowledge and inspiration. So listen up, gear up, and learn from our distinguished speakers, jot down notes, get a snack, and be inspired. More so, be challenged to take on the learnings you'll acquire to bridge the gap of theory and practice and solve relevant problems in our community. Thank you so much, and once again, good morning to all.
Thank you, Miss Justine Nicole Borbe. GTEC Summit Getting Grounded with Google Technologies. Hearing this really makes you excited, right? I mean, even myself is ready to dive in with the lessons that we are going to learn. So, before we move on, we would like to thank our partner organizations and sponsors who made this event possible. GTEC Summit 2021 Getting Grounded with Google Technologies is presented to you by the Google Developer Student Clubs, TUP Manila, co-presented by Kada Career, Technomancer, and XFleet, in partnership with Institute of Computer Engineers of the Philippines TUP Student Chapter, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers TUP Manila Student Branch, and TUP Compass. Also brought to you by TUP Tech Guild and Google Developer Student Club's Crystal E College. And our social media partners, Google Developer Student Club, Xavier University, Ateneo de Cagayan, and Google Developer Student Club's PUP Santo Tomas branch. Okay, you may also drop your questions of the talk and workshops later down below in the Zoom chat or submit it through the Slido link you will see on the screen. Okay, without further ado, our speaker has been programming for over 4 decades. He graduated with a Bachelor in Computer Science degree from UP Diliman and has since worked with a wide variety of computer languages and architectures here and abroad. In 2012, He founded and is currently the Chief Technology Officer of Technomancer, a provider of project management, programming and Q&A support, web and email hosting, and customized systems building for e-commerce, HR, sales, accounting, and inventory. Let us all welcome Mr. James Kim, for the change is inevitable and mostly good. Let us all give him a virtual round of applause.
Hello, everyone. Is that my hopefully my audio's clear here.
Yes, po.
Thank you, Miss Justin, and for inviting us, and Miss Christine for introducing us. I'm pretty excited to be here. It's a deep honor, of course, to be talking with the Google developers, student council, student clubs of TUP. But I'm mostly excited, and sorry, I can't help it because it's really, really very important to address the next generation of information technology professionals. I'm also a little scared about how quickly things are changing. A lot of wait, let me I guess share my screen, right? Okay, let me share my screen. How do I do that? Start now, and then here, present on this device. Oops. Okay. Okay, so there it is. Change is inevitable and mostly good. And a lot of things like was mentioned before, a lot of things have changed in our industry, mostly because of the pandemic, as I'm sure you're all aware. And I'd like to start by saying that, one day you were going to school, waking up early, struggling through traffic, trying to stay awake through class, and then run to your next class. When you took an exam, the proctor would be watching you closely, and no one misses those days, right? And here we are now, and one day, this is your life.
Excuse me, Mr.
Yes?
James,
Yes?
your screen is not appearing.
My screen is not appearing?
Yes.
Share. Wait, let me go here. Oh, share screen. Start now. There we go. There. Do you see my screen now?
I'm sorry. It is not still appearing.
Shoot, what's going on here? Okay, share screen. Start. And then here on top, where you guys, please let me know when you see my screen, okay?
It is
Am I-
still not appearing.
I don't know what to do. Here on top, allow us an app to appear, okay? Here, and then, no, still not?
Yes, po.
Still not, yes. Oh gosh, wow. Did not realize there'd be this technical difficulties. I've shared screen before.
Excuse me, Mr. James Kim. You can just send us your slide and we will share it for you.
Okay, let me do that. So James Kim. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. Copy. Then will I send it to you, Mr. Gerald? Is that you?
Sure, Mr. James Kim.
There we go. There, sent it. Okay. You guys share it? Sorry, we're getting there. And let me see if I can keep trying here. Oh, there we go. Next slide, please. Okay, like I said, one day you're all going to class, you're going to school, and struggling through traffic, meeting your friends, and then one day this is your life. And how many of you guys have done this? I don't know, but I would imagine that all of you at one time or another have done this. So now you're studying from home. You're meeting your classwork asynchronously. You're no longer allowed to see your friends. The lockdown was supposed to be for 2 weeks, then 3, then a couple of months, then half a year, and now we're here 2 years later, and you've stopped attending. And some of you have stopped attending your classes. I don't know about you guys, but my son, who's in college, he doesn't attend almost more than half of his classes. He's watching YouTube videos of his lessons online. You don't get to socialize and see your friends. You miss the parties. You miss the engineering week. You miss your graduation ceremony. I mean, you have a graduation ceremony, but not really. You know what I mean. Learning has become basically self-study sessions. And from personal experience with my family and my Technomancer coworkers, we've noticed significant difficulties in both learning and collaboration, both at work and at school. We noticed higher burnout rates. We've heard more reports of mental health issues. Humans are social animals, so human contact is important. We miss visual cues and body language, especially when talking face to face. For example, right now I'm talking to you, it's a sea of screens, and I don't know if I'm getting through to you. I hope I am. So, and sometimes we just need a hug from our family and friends. And well, I don't want to be a downer. Good thing I think it's almost over, and reported cases are down, so there's definitely a good sign. Next slide, please. So like I mentioned, the pandemic has radically changed how we think of doing business. Many restaurants and service businesses don't do well during the pandemic for obvious reasons. And this is all before the pandemic. We'd go out to work or study together and party together as well. We'd watch shows live and it was fun. Yes, it was crowded and there was traffic, but admit it, we all miss these times, right? I'll take that as a yes. Next slide, please. And this is us now. Meetings are on Zoom like this. We watch YouTube and Facebook Live now, and you see we order via Grab or that ordering screens. And even if things were to go back to the way it was before, and it slowly is, I don't think we'd go back totally to the way it was before. And I don't think that's a bad thing. So, there are good and bad things about it. Obviously, we miss the human contact. But I remember before when I had a client meeting, the client would insist on meeting face to face, and I had to drive 2 hours to Cavite for a 30-minute meeting and then 2 hours back. And, most client calls, you don't really make the sale, right? For all the businesses and people that lost, it was bad. And for the businesses and people that are thriving, it's good. But all of this has changed. And just to reiterate, this change is something you have experienced in your lifetime in just the past 2 years. So I hope I'm getting through that. That change is inevitable and as constant, and we just have to be ready for it. Next slide, please. Now, this is me before. I literally had these devices and I would carry these devices. And it's kind of sad and weird that I'm telling you about this, but I don't think you guys know half of the devices on this screen. And this is a popular image. Most of you probably have seen it, but whether or not you have, I think it needs to be shown. So in one generation, just think about this, everything that you had to bring before, and now it's gone. And I don't know about you, but like, for example, my mother, she has a hard time adapting to these changes. She has a hard time using her cell phone. She has a hard time, well, I used to have a DVD remote, but then she had a hard time with that. But now you guys probably don't even use DVDs anymore, right? And definitely your kids probably will not use DVDs at all. They'll all be Netflix or streaming services. But personally, all these changes, the pandemic, all these devices, they fit on your pocket. That's now your cell phone. And then now ordering online Zoom meetings. I think on the average, it has been good. I think we're still allowed to meet anyway, and I think that's important. But I think a lot of meetings you can do online. I think that's better. I think if you can do a lot of ordering online that deliver to your house and instead of fighting the traffic, that's better. As long as we, I guess, maintain a healthy balance. So next slide, please. Okay, so how has change related to us, right? So don't know about you, but before when I was selling IT products, I would go door to door, lugging around this big computer and trying to install their software to each client, and it was very tiring and very tedious. But now it's a lot different. So next button. Okay. One thing I want to reiterate to everyone here, and this is just from my personal experience, most people think of IT, they think of programming, but actually IT is a very broad field. There's quality assurance, business analyst, network engineer, computer art, graphics, computer animation, web designer, UI design, technical writer, project manager, data scientist. Uh, there's just a lot. As long as you have an interest in IT, there's probably a job for you in this field. Next slide, please. IT pays well. It just does. I think you guys all know it, and I'll give you some more examples later. Next slide, please. You can work in IT to some degree remotely, some totally remote, some some a little bit, some totally. For example, right now I'm at. Can you guys see that? My screen? Can you guys see where I am? I'm in Puerto Galera right now, actually. So yeah, cool. You can work anywhere. Next slide, please. Okay. And it's less politics. I don't know about you. I mean, you can never remove politics from a job, but this one has less so. So if you, as long as you're good, as long as you can work well with other people, doesn't matter what your degrees are. We have coworkers in our company who didn't even finish college. If you're a good programmer, you're a good programmer, and you're valuable to many companies. Next slide, please. And this is a very important thing, and this is why we're at this conference right now. A lot of the programming information you have available for you is free. It's available right now. Before, when I wanted to Google, when I want to Google, when I wanted to find out, like, if I want to learn how to do JavaScript, I would have to buy a thick JavaScript book. I would to leaf through it, and it was useful for only like 2-3 months until the next version of JavaScript came out. Then I would have to buy the next book. But now you can just go on Google and find out information instantly. I don't know. That is mind-boggling for me. And I don't know if you appreciate exactly how much information you have for free. Next slide, please. Okay. So what I'm saying is you're all lucky. So all this change is happening, and you are at the forefront of it, and you guys are lucky to be in the information technology field. Next slide, please. Okay, you're getting the fact that we're having a Google Developers Student Club Summit sponsored by Google shows you how much these companies care about you and how valuable you are, how much they're giving you. They're giving you G Suite, they're giving you Office 365, they're giving you Notion, Zoom. They're all premium and all free. They're giving you access to Azure servers. I think you guys have Azure, right? You probably have AWS. You probably have a lot of. Use it, please. I didn't have that. I had to buy all my books. Next one. Okay. So, and all these companies are scrambling for the top IT talents. What they want you to do is to become the best version of you that can possibly be, and then they'll hire you. So there, you have that to look forward to. Next slide. Okay. And many of the top companies right now deal with IT, and many of them are changing the world dramatically. And maybe, you know, if you're good at this, you'll work with them. And maybe if you have this exceptional brain world-changing idea, go ahead, you make it. The barrier of entry is so low right now. I mean, there are pluses and minuses to it. The minus is that everyone can, it's a very competitive field. Anyone can develop their next top idea. The good thing is you can too. Next one, please. Okay, and like I said, learn as much as you can, practice as much as you can, and be the next best version of you. Next one. Okay, and lastly, we're all on the same boat. It never changes. Change never changes. I'm constantly like wondering what to do next. For example, just one example. Our traditional web servers have been PHP LAMP stacks. And right now, like for example, I'm talking with Google and the people who work with Google. They're insisting, no, the next wave is Python, Django. That'll be the next big tech stack. Is it? Maybe. And if it is, then I'll just have to ride that wave along with everyone else. So just realize now that it's exciting and very life-changing times. Just go along with it, and you'll be happy and successful. Good luck with everyone. Good luck, everyone. Good luck with everything. I guess that's
Okay.
it. Next slide.
Thank you, Mr. James. Oh,
Okay, that's it. Oh, and here's the. I don't know if you saw it.
wow. What a great view. So there's a lot of emotions we are feeling right now with your talk. And as it is, change is inevitable, and mostly the change is good.